So this is a sad story of how an 18-year-old apprentice unalived his boss simply because this boss scolded him for going out on Valentine's Day. So this boy's name is Chiemere and he's 18 years old as at the time of this incident. Apparently, this whole incident started on Valentine's Day, but the crime itself was committed on the 15th of February, a day after Valentine. So Chiemere is from Ebonyi State and he's the cousin to this man named Mr. I. Oga Mike is also from Ebonyi State, but he has a shop in Onitsha, Anambra State. And in this shop, he sells pharmaceutical items and he has grown this shop to the extent where he now has apprentices or more boy that are staying with him and learning the trade from him. And during the course of this time, he was able to bring Chiemere to come learn the whole pharmaceutical business from him. Now, when he brought Chiemere into the business, Chiemere is known to be very stubborn. He would always talk back at his uncle. Typical stubborn behavior. As time went on, Oga Ike realized that he could not handle this boy. So what he did was that he took this boy back to the village, back to his parents, and told them that this boy is too stubborn. I cannot stay with him. I cannot control him. With the way he behaves, he's not ready to walk. He's very stubborn. And when he took this boy to the village, explaining to the parents about the boy's stubbornness, the parents instead started to beg him and started to use the whole, he's your brother, he's your blood, he's your this, you cannot throw him away. And then they continued pleading with him to take Chiemere back instead of leaving him in the village, even though he had not completed the number of years he's supposed to use in learning the trade. Now, out of compassion and out of sympathy, Mr. Ike, feeling that he could still manage Chiemere, took him back. And this was just in December. Now, when Chiemere got back to his boss place the second time, everything seemed to be going normal. It felt as though he had learnt his lesson, and to an extent, he was putting up a very good behavior. But not until February 14th. Now, February 14th, Mr. Ike opened his shop because this was on a weekday. He opened his shop like every businessman would, and he had other apprentices. There were up to 3 apprentices aside from Chiemere in the shop. Towards the evening time, he decided to go out to go hang out with his friends and just probably have a few drinks. And he did this trusting that his shop were in capable hands because he had trained some of these boys to the level where they could handle his business without his presence. After he had gone out with his friend, he had a good time. He returned and towards the evening time went back to his shop and realized that it was closed, and which was normal because this was a marketplace. They have the time where they would close. So when he saw that they had already closed their shop, he went back home. When he went back home, he was expecting to see the whole boys in the house. Remember, these boys, these apprentices were under his care, so he's literally their father. He is bound to care and ask for their whereabouts. It is something normal that any father or anybody that has people under their care would do. So when he came back, he asked of everybody, and everybody was at home except Chiemere. And then he asked about the whereabouts of Chiemere, and they told him that Chiemere had left since about 3 to 4 p.m. and that they don't know where he went to. And what he did was that he decided to call Chiemere's number. He called Chiemere's number and Chiemere was not picking. Kept on calling and Chiemere was not picking. And then he told the boys that when Chiemere is to return, he should let him know so that he's aware of when he returned. After a while, he came back again. He came downstairs, came out from his room to ask about the whereabouts of Chiemere. It was already getting late at this time. But the boys told him that Chiemere is not back. Oh, he's not back from wherever he went to. And he became worried. He called Chiemere again. Chiemere did not pick. And he decided to just go back and still informing the boys that whenever Chiemere is to return, they should let him know. At early hours on the 15th of February at around 12 to 1 a.m., Chiemere returned and was banging on the door. He was banging so hard that he was disturbing the neighbors. So the boys did what they were asked to do. They went upstairs to inform their boss that Chiemere was back from wherever he had gone to. The boss came down to know what's up. So when he saw Chiemere, he told Chiemere that wherever it is that you're coming from, just go back there. And this is after questioning him of his whereabouts. Now, we do not know the response Chiemere gave about his whereabouts, but according to the informations we got, he was asking Chiemere question and Chiemere was just quiet, was not even responding, was more like showing that stubbornness that you would see from a defiant teenager. So the boss ended it by telling him not to return into the house, that he should go back to wherever he came from. And then this boss went back to bed to sleep. Later on, Chiemere was able to gain access to the house, maybe through the window or from somewhere else, but he was able to gain access to the house and to the kitchen. Now, after he found his way to the kitchen through whatever means that we're not sure of, these boys went over to inform Mr. Ike, the boss, that Chiemere has now gained access into the kitchen. So Mr. Ikechukwu went into the kitchen to confront Chiemere, and while he entered the kitchen, everywhere was pitch black, literally dark. Now, before he could get access to light, he didn't know that Chiemere was lurking in the dark with a very big pistol. And this 18-year-old boy decided to use this pistol to smack his boss on the head repeatedly until his boss became unconscious. Now, after he was done with Mr. Ike, I don't know if some spirit entered into him, but he decided to not just stop at Mr. Ike, his boss. He went over to Mr. Ike's sister's room, Miss Success. And once he got to her room, he began using the same pistol on her. According to Miss Success' story, she has no idea about what even transpired between her brother and his apprentice. All she knew was that she woke up from sleep with the sound of somebody hitting her on her head. Now, she was able to fight and struggle and take the pistol away from her, but not without Chiemere doing a lot of damage to her. After she was able to struggle to get the pistol away from him, she was able to alert other people, shout and alert other people to let them know what was happening. And this was how other people in the building were able to come into her room to rescue her from this monster. And once they entered, they were able to hold down Chiemere to prevent him from doing further harm to her or any other person. It was after they held Chiemere down that they realized that Chiemere had already used this pistol on his boss, and that was when they quickly decided to rush the boss and Miss Success to the hospital to get medical attention. But sadly, before they could get to the hospital, Mr. Ike lost his life. Miss Success is currently in the hospital but in critical condition, and as at the time of this video, she's not even aware that she had lost her brother. Now, there's a big chance that within a short while she'll be aware of her brother's demise, but they just go a long way to show that if somebody is not your child and you've tried as you can to train that person or to guide that person and it's not working, please let go. There are attitudes and characters that people would show that would make you know that they are not redeemable, especially when these people are up to adulthood, 15, 16, 17, 18. You know that these people are beyond your control. If their parents cannot control them, their parents cannot give them the right character, the right attitude, what makes you think that you're the right person? If Mr. Ike had stood on his ground and let Chiemere go, there's a big chance that he would still be alive. Now, we do not know if Chiemere, as at the time of this incident, was on any sort of hard drugs or was mentally ill, because you cannot use clear eye to do what he did. We are not sure or if that was the case or if he was just plainly stubborn. But the whole conclusion of the matter is that there are people that you just need to let go so that you have your peace. There are situations you need to pull yourself out from just for your safety. When somebody that is meant to be an apprentice or meant to be working for you start responding to you anyhow, start proving stubborn, please let them go. If it's in cases where you need to settle them, in the case of Umabonyi, settle them, let them go and start up their own business and show that stubbornness on their own. Because there are people who do not function well when they are staying under somebody. And even as a boss, there are bosses that has this whole attitude of, even after somebody had served to their full term, they would want to just keep the person longer. The more you're keeping the person, the more the person is getting bolder. The more the person is having the mind to do things that you would not think of. Once you have an agreement with a boy or with your apprentice to serve for a certain period of time, once that time reach, settle them and let them go. It would stop a whole lot of things from happening. If Mr. Chiemere, like I said, had stood on his ground, did not let any family issues or emotional pressure get to him to take Chiemere back, he would have still been alive. It is so sad that this is the end for this young man, somebody that still has a bright future.